Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video, and we got Larry Bird, the end of an era, WCVB TV-5 special. Now, I know I was looking for this end of an era video, and I found it, so I'm definitely about to react to this one, man. Appreciate all love and support. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, man, and let's get straight into the video, y'all. You know I keep it short and sweet. I hope everybody's having a beautiful Saturday. Yesterday's Saturday for me. Hopefully everybody's having a good day, man. But I appreciate y'all so much. But yeah, man, let's get it. Let's get it.
A lot of money, and they always say they're very proud. But if you don't play for the Boston Celtics, you never played professional basketball. This is what basketball is all about. This is what every player in the world, whether they like it or not, this is what you strive for to be. I get emotional when I think about the fans, because I can remember sitting with DJ on the bench a lot of times, and the game would be over, and we'd be sitting there, and there'd be like 30 seconds to go in the game, and I look at DJ and I say, I cannot believe this many people would come out here and watch us play basketball. That was always mind-boggling to me. It still is. When they start chanting, when they start hollering, for some reason, inside my body, I don't know what would happen, but I go to the next level. I could take my game to the next level just off the roar of the crowd. And I'd done it numerous of times in the Garden. I know from really 80, 81 to 86, 87 that there was a lot of nights where I felt I was the only one out there on the court. I can do basically anything I wanted to do. And then the injuries started coming, and it's been a lot harder. You know, I have a lot of dreams about playing basketball, of course, because this is all I do, but I can never make a basket in my dream. We always win the games, but somebody else always makes the shots. Playoff time, it gets real bad. A lot of nights when we're in the playoffs, I can't sleep at all. You know, you stay up all night, and you get 2 or 3 hours sleep in the afternoon, then you play, then it's just a roller coaster ride all the way through. Well, I remember when I first came to the league and we played against Artis Gilmore, he told me that I wouldn't last very long if I keep diving around. Well, it has caught up with me, and the way that I was taught basketball was that every loose ball might be that loose ball that's going to win a game for you, and I still believe that.
Larry needs some champagne. How
about a beer?
You'd rather walk.
Everyone, and welcome to our show. A show, quite frankly, we hoped we wouldn't be doing for another year or perhaps even 2. But over the past year and a half, it became painfully evident that the time for Bird to announce his retirement would be accelerated. And so, while many were vacationing and planning for the fall, Larry Bird was preparing for the rest of his life. We begin our show tonight with a report from the day's events with Ed Harding.
Chip Bison.
We love you, Larry.
I don't like to go out this way, but I have to go out, and I have to quit playing. I love to play basketball. I still love to play basketball, but I'm not going to be able to do it.
What a play by Bird! Oh my, this place has gone crazy!
If you don't play for the Boston Celtics, you never play professional basketball. This is what basketball is all about. This is what every player in the world, whether they like it or not, this is what you strive for to be.
Just a regular guy is how Larry Bird prefers to be remembered, but regular hardly begins to describe Larry Bird.
Bird gets it back to Bird, who takes a three-pointer of his own.
He just got the job done. He made everybody around him play better. He was focused. He was focused on winning. He wasn't satisfied to go out there and play well.
Bird.
Winning is what matters to Bird. You cannot overstate his place in basketball history. Bird has affected every place that the ball has bounced, every place the game's ever been played.
I was watching Larry, Michael, and Magic playing on the same team, and I really thought to myself, my goodness, you know, I really believe that when the definitive history of this game is written, these 3 guys are going to be among the best 5 to ever play the game.
His will to win, his competitive spirit, and the ability to play hurt. I don't think anyone has ever played in sports the way he has injured.
There's nothing greater than having 15,000 people cheering for you and your team. I get emotional when I think about the fans, because I can remember sitting with DJ on the bench a lot of times, and the game would be over, and we'd be sitting there, and there'd be like 30 seconds to go in the game, and I look at DJ and I say, I cannot believe this many people would come out here and watch us play basketball. That was always mind-boggling to me. It still is. Celtic basketball has been a great life for me. It's been very, I've been very fortunate to being on a team that cared about winning. I tell you, I've been very fortunate over the years. I've paid a lot of money to play a sport that I loved. I tell you, I've been very honored to be.
Let me just touch on what he said there. That's how I feel about y'all, man. Seriously, like, I never thought that I had this many people watching me, all these many people, y'all subscribing to me and all of that. And I'm just like, like you said, I feel mind-boggled too, but I deeply appreciate y'all so much, though, man. But I just wanted to say, I had to say something. I had to. It's just touching me like I had to say something, but I appreciate y'all.
Be a part of all this.
Any talk of Bird just playing the home games or playing a shortened schedule was foolish. That was not in the best interest of the team or the player.
I wasn't going to do the same things over and over and over to my back. I'm in a situation now where it feels pretty good and hopefully it'll get better, but I just couldn't continue doing that to my body. I've done it for 13, 15, 17 years now, and enough's enough.
In the end, there were no tears, but a champagne toast, and even then, the regular guy came through.
How about a beer?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I gave my heart, my body, my soul to the Celtics, and hopefully we can continue to have a good relationship.
You see, just a regular guy with an extraordinary gift.
One of the greatest Celtics ever.
You know, Larry Bird has had an impact on so many people around the game of basketball, opponents, fans, and even coaches. Here now are the thoughts of two men who had the pleasure to coach Larry Bird, Jimmy Rogers and Casey Jones.
It's sad that this kind of thing puts him out of basketball, but it's a happiness at the same time in my mind that here's a guy that gave us perfect basketball.
He was a competitor. He was a guy that, again, without the great physical gifts of jumping ability, he wasn't a super quick guy, but he always found a way to beat his opponent. And I think that's the thing that will always be remembered about Larry Bird, the fact that he was a winner and made all of the people around him a little bit better, coaches included.
Here's a man who gets 18 rebounds in a game, 17, 14. He gets triple doubles. He'll die for loose ball, which you don't see these a lot of great shooters and a lot of great talents doing, and that's something that that's going to be lost.
All right, we have a plethora of video moments throughout the Bird era, and we're going to use them each time during this show that we head to a commercial break. So when I say we'll be back with more after this timeout, it doesn't mean go to the refrigerator. It means sit and watch for a couple moments, then go to the refrigerator, then come right back. We'll see you in a couple moments.
There's three things that me and my teammates have done throughout the years. One was I hit a three-pointer in Houston to put the game away. Chris Ford remembers that one because he been playing for so long, never won anything, so that was the first time he tasted victory.
He looks around. In the corner, Bird. Quick! Three-point field goal! A three-point field goal for Larry Bird!
Points, rebounds, and assists are charted and calculated each night in basketball. Often they don't accurately reflect the impact one had on a particular game or season. And never was that more true than with Larry Bird. Some of his many intangibles were his ability to get the ball to the open man and to make each person around him play so much better. They finally were able to be teammates instead of opponents. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird joining forces to help recapture the Olympic gold medal. These two have been synonymous with basketball for the past 13 years. When they entered the league, the NBA was floundering, but their unselfish play became infectious, and the NBA took off.
We're down to 6. Bird in the corner, double fake, jumper, it's good!
Bird and Magic resurrected the appeal, the glamour, the need from a basketball standpoint of reintroducing this part of the game, and hopefully it's had impact on all the thousands and thousands of kids that play the game in the States, and in that sense, I think that was their greatest achievement.
Magic was in charge of Showtime in L.A., but Celtic fans who have watched over the past 13 years have come to appreciate Larry's uncanny knack of delivering the basketball.
Over his head to McHale.
Amazing how a good, sharp, crisp pass can make an opponent look so foolish just for a moment. We'll return with more of the Larry Bird era, and first we'll hear some of Larry's special moments from his perspective throughout his career.
The second one was in Game 5 in '84 when I hit a turnaround on Magic after we got defeated by 30-some points in Game 3. We won that game to tie up 2-2 where we could have been swept that day.
Back in the Bird. The ball away is gone. Boston leads 125 to 123.
It is not easy to be a Celtic fan from as far away as Kansas, but Chuck Kramer was. That was in the Bill Russell era. Never expecting he'd later move to Boston and have another star of Russell's magnitude to hang his hopes on. That was at least until today.
Well, Michael, I guess that's that, isn't it? Something's over now, and what's left leaves something to be desired. There are two kinds of people in the world, those who want to be somebody and those who want to do something, show horses and work horses. And as of this rainy day in August, we now lack one of the greatest workhorses there ever was in basketball. Those of us not athletically endowed appreciated Larry Bird because he wasn't either, not in the otherworldly way basketball stars usually are. With a gait like your grandma and a leap full of lead, after all, his only endowment really was attitude and moxie and smarts. In fact, of all the images of Larry we've savored over these years, I would rank this as the one I almost regret never seeing again. A flat-footed man with a basketball and a keen peripheral vision, triangulating a cool half-dozen possibilities and scaring the undershirts off the opposition because they know damn well he is about to choose that one possibility least imagined by mortals, and the one most cruel to them. Suppler athletes do sublime things with their bodies. Larry did sublime things with the ball, almost despite his body. A repudiation of razzle-dazzle it was in a way, an economy of gesture that was very much out of tune with the rest of the 1980s. The rest of the 80s, after all, made a cult out of slam dunks. What else? Larry doing a slam dunk is something of an archival oddity. The rest of the world lined up happily to be squelched by the dream team. Larry had the good grace to be slightly embarrassed by the victory margins. No work for the workhorse either, so what was the point? Other stars on his level tend to see the basketball court as a studio for their own television show. Bird always saw it as a geometry problem, a pattern of force and flow you fell in with and figured out and mastered with an artistic purpose unrelated to fame or money. Pretty much the way you had always done it back in French Lick, when the cheerleaders were your age and the slap of your canvas kids was all you needed to know about footwear. He knew the natural order of things, Larry did. You are what you do, so you go and do it well. An American contrast, Larry Bird and his Indiana Ford dealership versus Jack Clark and his unpaid-for Ferraris. Pro sports is going straight to hell in a lot of ways, maybe faster than ever, now that its purest practitioner is gone. Mike?
So you like them?
I did, and I always will.
All right, Chuck, thank you. We'll be back with more of End of an Era after we hear another great moment from the career of Larry Bird from Larry himself.
In '86, when I was playing here against Houston Rockets in Game 6, I never quite had a feeling like that before in my life. I was so pumped up for that game that I think I hit my max right there because I never was fired up for a game like that one. I get fired up for every game. I didn't play that well, but I know one thing. I came to play that day, and I'll never forget that, walking off that court when my heart was pounding so hard I thought I was having a heart attack. So I've never reached that milestone again, which I loved it, but I never got there again. That's why I kept wanting to win the next championship, to see if I was going to reach that max, because there's not a greater feeling than win a championship in your own building and walking off the court at the end.
The Boston Celtics are hardly the Denver Nuggets or the Atlanta Hawks. This is a franchise that has had a litany of great players over the years. Russell, Cousy, Heinsohn, and on the line. Where should Larry Bird take his spot among those great Celtic players? Well, that's a question that Clark Booth tries to answer.
Back out to Ramsey. The upwardly mobile 30-somethings and other late subscribers to the local culture will be surprised to hear that the Celtics were great before Larry Bird was born.
Cousy trying to kill off the clock with his dribbling around. 2, 1.
He was but the latest in a long line of basketball prophets, and maybe not even the very greatest of the great. A distinction some of us will continue to insist can only belong to Bill Russell.
Sam comes around to the top of the circle on the cut now to Russell. He's in there. A fall away is good. Russell a right-handed hook. It's good. Out to Baylor driving the lane. He lays it up. Is blocked by Russell.
But Bird was special, and so will be his memory. And there is only the question, will he be the last in that long line of Celtic demigods? At times like this, it's always the temptation to surrender to such sentiment. But life does go on, as Bird himself would be the first to insist.
He's unconscious. There's Bird. Bird, 14 seconds, he got fouled. He hit the shot. Bird has 60 points. Larry Bird scores 60 points. Look at the Boston players mob him.
It was Bird's historical good fortune, as well as that of the Celtics, to be the last great coup in the fabulous regency of Red Auerbach.
I guarantee you I'll give 100% every time I come out. And if I get a torn toenail or something, I won't sit out. I'll play as hard as I can every night. And I hope I can bring excitement to the fans, and I'll never give up.
How prophetic. When he arrived that spring day in '79, he charmed resident cynics with the impression that he was an earnest, plain-talking, good old boy who'd come to play. To that end, he remained faithful to the last.
I forgot to tell Mr. Auerbach, but I would have played for nothing.
It may be equally amusing now to recall that many, including key Celtic players at the time, doubted that Bird would be the Messiah that he was ballyed to be. There was much debate about his worth vis-a-vis Magic Johnson, the other hot collegian of that spring. But boss Auerbach never doubted. He knew the Bird caper, stealing him from the rest of the league as he did, was one of his ultimate moves.
I have been very blessed and fortunate having coached some of the greatest that ever played the game. But if I had to start a team today, I've never said this before, the greatest player and the one guy I would take would be Larry Bird.
Maybe, but you only wonder how the boss could have been so sure. Considering the wonder of Bill Russell, there was never a greater athlete in any game. And the incomparable Bob Cousy, he was sui generis. And John Havlicek, that paragon of mainstream American competitive virtues. Today you are reminded we have been down this road before. It's striking how on a day like this, you realize suddenly that there have been so many nobles gracing one team, one logo, one town. Bird was among the foremost of that regal line. That alone is distinction enough. This is Clark Booth reporting.
All right, Clark, we in our business of journalism are not supposed to become emotionally attached to any athlete or any sport, but we would be less than candid if we did not say that we thoroughly enjoyed each one of those 13 years that Larry Bird gave us performing for the Boston Celtics. So as we say goodbye to you tonight, we present for you some of our lasting images of Larry Bird, number 33 of the Boston Celtics. Good night, everybody.
The Boston Celtics are very happy, very pleased to sign Larry Bird, a guy we've been after for 2 years. And that's really looking down the road, trying to rebuild the Celtics like they once were.
Takes the shot. It's gone! Oh, my goodness! I can't believe it! Bird pops out. Gets it on the sideline. Goes baseline. Throws it up and in! Yeah! Larry Bird did it again! He did it again! Oh, my goodness! He did it again!
I guarantee you I'll give 100% every time I come out. And if I get a torn toenail or something, I won't sit out. I'll play as hard as I can every night. And and I hope I can bring excitement to the fans, and I'll never give up.
Play by Larry Bird. Holy smoke, what a play that was.
They get it back to Bird. He tries another one. He's got it. He's got it. Right at the buzzer. He's got 60 points.
5 seconds left. It goes to Bird. 4 seconds. Bird drives, lays it up. It is gone. He's gone. A stumbling, falling shot.
Out of Sam Vincent to Bird. And it goes.
Go to Bird. He's got a shot. Get it, gone. It is gone. It's a 3-point field goal. And that's it. It's all over.
Goes cross court to Bird. Bird throws it up.
It's gone. A 3-pointer. Larry Bird. And a 3-pointer with 4 seconds to go. Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ. Lays it in. Right at 1 second left. What a play by Bird. Oh my, this place is going crazy.
Have you had a chance to even think about the fact that you're a pretty wealthy young man now?
I forgot to tell Mr. Auerbach, but I would have played for nothing.
Ooh, that was a good one right there. I'm glad I found that video. Yes. That was a damn sure good one. I know some of the stuff we saw in some of the other interviews and stuff that I covered, but that's always good, man. It's always good to see, some same stuff sometime, But yeah, man. Appreciate all of the support, y'all. On to the next video, man. Y'all know, keep it short and sweet. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. And I'm out, man. Leave your comments down below. I'm out. Peace.